Here's what it does tell us. What it tells us is that the man is the accountable party before God. When God comes knocking on that door, he comes knocking, asking not to speak to the missus. He comes knocking to speak to the mister. Remember what we learned in the previous 2 weeks. Oh, I love to go over this. Eve talked to the serpent. Eve looked at the tree. Eve raised her hand to take the fruit off the tree. Eve brought the fruit to her lips. Eve crunched down on the fruit and digested it. Eve then reached out her hand with the fruit and gave it to her husband to eat. And then he ate. And when God came calling, he came calling not for Eve, he came calling for the Adam, for the man. God, don't you see what this woman's been doing over here with the serpent? But when God comes knocking on the door, and it's accountability time, when you have to give an account for your house, he's not calling for the missus, he's calling for the mister. Men, you better have your house in order. What you gonna say when God comes knocking? What's your answer gonna be? Listen, if I were a single female, I would sure enough want to see that this guy embraces the responsibility he has with God. Amen. For himself. If you got to cajole him to come to church, if you got to ask him to have devotions with you, if you got to ask him to pray for you, if you got to ask him to read the Bible with you, if it's always you trying to get him to do before God, you better drop him like a hot potato. Amen. It's going to impact you. Don't you understand that you're going to be impacted by this? Your life before God is going to be a problem if you go ahead and marry a man who can't hold his own pants up spiritually. He's a baby. He needs his diaper changed spiritually. Got way too many diaper men in the church. Baby men who are unable to lead a family spiritually, who are unable to guide a family spiritually. Way too many baby men. Paul rather spends twice as much time trying to get the men in order. A marriage will not be what it's supposed to be unless the husband understands that his being a husband is a divine reality that must fall under the clear guidelines of Jesus Christ. We got way too, I just can't, I gotta repeat this again. We got too many men who they would rather do something else than be around the people of God. They'd rather do something else than read the word. They'd rather do something else than hear the word of God preached. That's a problem. And single ladies, please pray that God helps you to see what he is before you marry him. Because once you marry him, it's too late. Nobody can help you. You can't be bailed out till death do us part. You got to ride this thing till it drops dead. Only through being a believer will a person have a divine perspective on what a husband is supposed to be. Not what the world tells you a husband's supposed to be. Not what the boys on the corner tell you supposed to be. Not what the guys you're hooping, what they say that a man is. Rather, the Bible is what determines what a man is. We need some biblical males in the house. Amen.